Well, we knew they were going to do this. The Shills are out in force, defending Cuties, calling anyone who thinks Fredos are bad, right-wingers, alt-wing conspiracies, theorists, and just trying to destroy a piece of art. I say, screw that. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Sporking News Podcast. My name is Scott, and we're going to take a look at this tweet I found today from Orwell and Goody. I don't know who they are. It just popped up in my feed. If you've been watching my channel at all lately, I am definitely against the sexualizing of children. Okay. Once again, this won't be edited. It's just going to be my stream of thoughts. I'm coming to you from a unknown location in a hotel far, far away. So my internet isn't the best, and I am doing the best I can to keep up with my YouTube channel. So bear with me, but it needs to be talked about. So the tweet comes from, again, Orwell and Goody, and it says the media is trying to gaslight their audience with the biggest "no you" in history. And that's what it is. So they're getting their shills out. The shills are coming out. Here's one of them from Slate, and it's by Sam Adams. Is that a pen name? And on September 11th, which also makes me sick that they're writing stuff about Fredos on, September 11th. But the creepy conservatives' obsession with Netflix Cuties explained. I won't even go into these articles because I don't think they deserve it. They don't deserve that much from me. Why is the alt-right obsessed with Fredos? Alexander Nazarian. Well, we're not obsessed with them. We just don't like them. We don't like that you're trying to normalize the idea of a Fredo relationship with a child. So if that's something you think is okay, then you need to be kept an eye on there, Alexander, because our children are off limits. Hail to the great Gina Carano. First off, she's one of the only ones out there. There are blue check marks coming out against this that are left-leaning, but she has been taking on everybody that comes after her, and I respect that highly. She has not backed down at all, because when it comes to children, we can't back down. Coming from Mother Jones, why are right-wing conspiracies so obsessed with Fredo? The story is the same from the daycare panics to the 17th letter of the alphabet. It's not really about the kids. It's about fears of a changing social order. So, Ali Brayland, what do you mean by changing social order? Are you just talking about you think your leftist side will win? Or are you saying that the idea of normalizing stuff like this is part of the changing social order? Because if that is it, you're going to find out that the sleeping giant of the population will rise up against people that actually believe this. We have allowed the bubbles in New York and the bubble over Hollywood to spew their nonsense about different diverse groups and segregation and white man bad and orange man bad and their idea that actually putting people in categories is what should be done and not just seeing us all as one human race. We've allowed it. We've allowed it for 30 years now. We were on the right path in the 90s. It skewed off somewhere along the line, and we allowed these blue hairs to do what they wanted to do. We sat back saying, "Oh, it can't go farther than they're just spewing this rhetoric." Well, look at our streets today. Look at the cities. Look at what's happening, because the children that grew up in the past 30 years believe all this garbage because we have been silent about it. So now anytime someone stands up against it, well, you're labeled the Yahtzee. You're labeled, a bad human being for not believing that these people have the rights, even though by giving them their rights, you're actually oppressing other people's rights. And it doesn't matter what color, what sexuality you are, what gender you feel like today, what pronoun you want to use. When you have to step on another group to raise yourself up, you're no better than the ones that came before you decades ago. So that is why we're against this. Let's take a look at some of the responses to this tweet. Weird they say that, but I'm sure the $9 billion loss in market value of Netflix were all because of the right wing. That's a multi-dark Zen. You got that right. $9 billion Netflix loss, but yet they're doubling down and they're defending this. Now, I found out last night on the dump, check that out from Saturday night, that when you go on to Netflix, it actually, Cuties isn't right there anymore. Okay. You actually have to search for it now. So now they're just trying to hide it. And then who are they hiding it for? People like that gentleman we covered on Rogue Entertainment on Stephen Walton's channel that said some of the grossest things I've ever heard about children. And I've worked with Fredos for, 4 years. So you're telling me they're protecting this class. Is this a class that now we protect? Okay. Because, the innocence of children means nothing. I don't understand where our society went wrong. It's because people like myself, and I have to take blame for that. I can only speak for myself. I wasn't speaking up early enough. So until these platforms decide to silence me, I'm going to keep talking about stuff like this. And if you don't agree with it and don't want to support my channel, that's fine. I hope that you agree at least with protecting kids, because we might not agree politically, but this is more than a political issue. This is protecting the innocence of children. These 11-year-old girls had grown men and women teaching them how to move erotically for a movie. They're never going to be the same. There are grown men doing things with these movies because it's a fantasy of theirs, and we are feeding into that. But, it's okay. It's okay. Tyler Sensing. I'm sorry, Tyler. When I get told being anti-Fredo is alt far right position, you can read that yourself. That's actually really funny because, is that where we have to go right now to defend our children? That we have to go that far to actually, I'm liking this one. That was funny. That's what they think we are by defending our kids. That we're from Germany in 1930. Not everybody from Germany in 1930, but certain people. Vinyar Kumar, I wonder what can be done about those folks who think hating on Fredo is a bad thing. Here's an idea. What is the cure for such a disorder? Beatings. Now, this gentleman's name, it's not just Christians. Everybody is coming out against this. All different. For once, I guess something brought us all together. Well, we're seeing who isn't on our side. And if you support those people, you need to stop. I can't tell you what to do, but I'm going to stop supporting anyone who's defending this movie. This is not an artistic thing. This is exploitation of children. We'll do a couple more, and then I'm just going to end this. This is old because last I saw it, they were over 1,000 and they were at 3%. And the tomato meter for critics was down to 88. But those critics that are defending this need to be remembered who they are. Black Saga D, Sony still censors Japanese video games, says, well, check out this golden tweet from none other than Mike Rothschild himself. Mike Rothschild, if you don't know who the Rothschilds are, and I'm guessing he's related to them, look into that. Far more children are being harmed by the choking smoke blanketing the West Coast than by the almost entirely imaginary Fredo rings that white suburban women are suddenly crusading against. And that is bull. Orange Man has broken up more Fredo rings in his almost 4 years of service as president than any other president has in 8-year terms. There was rings broken up in Georgia, saving 39 kids, I believe, in Ohio, around 30 kids. And this was only a couple months ago, not even, maybe just a month ago. So this idea that it's again, they try to make you think it's imaginary. They try to make you think you're a conspiracy nut. Because if they can make you think conspiracy is a bad word, well, then you're just an idiot. You're just a wackadoo who is creating this in your mind. Just because it's conspiracy doesn't mean it's a made up thing. Conspiracies are just that. Two or more people that conspire to do something I usually think as bad. That's what a conspiracy is. But we have allowed them to turn that word into a 4-letter crazy lunatic word. And the truth is, just because it's a conspiracy doesn't mean it's not true. We've found out through history, conspiracies have been true. And just check out someone like Wes Moody or Bear Nerd Fun and even Final Death Star. They go over conspiracies. And you'll see that some of them have come true. And maybe I'll jump on one of Wes Moody's Friday night ones, and we'll talk about conspiracies that people brushed aside that now we find out, decades later were true. Like Operation Paperclip, things like that. You have to look these things up, people. You have to look into it and see that, the CIA, the government, and I don't want to go all crazy because you're going to start thinking I'm a nut, but these things have been done in the past. There have been covert operations that people uncovered, and there was a full-out attack on these people to discredit them. That's what this guy Mike is doing. Okay? So it is not imaginary. These Fredo rings do happen all the time. A lot of the times they're images being passed around from these creeps to different creeps. But there are rings where sometimes they're actual children. And they see nothing wrong with it. And the more we allow it to be normalized, the more they're going to be emboldened to do things. And that's what scares me even more. So please, don't stop talking about this. Do not let off the gas, with Netflix, with Cuties, with Fredo altogether. Let us not normalize this. Don't let Facebook, don't let Twitter, don't let YouTube normalize this, please. Defend our children, because if we don't do it, who will nowadays? Thank you, guys. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe. Helps out the channel a great deal. And with what I talk about lately, the algorithm really isn't helping me. Please don't stop. Don't let off the gas. And thank you for supporting the channel. Have a great day, everybody.